Triangle of Sadness is a dark comedy film. Now, I didn't know anything about this, and my friend wanted to go, so we just went. I literally went into this movie blind, 100% blind. I didn't know anything. I saw the poster. There's some people on a yacht. It won the Palme d'Or, and that's all I knew. So this one is about Kurt. He is a male model who is dating Yaya. She is a female model, and they're introduced as our main characters of sorts. They are a vapid influencer couple that are dating just for clout. You know, they're good-looking people, and people like to look at other good-looking people. And then they're on a yacht, a super-sized, expensive, bougie yacht cruise with a whole bunch of other rich people. So the movie is really insidious. It starts off as a, kind of a goofy satire comedy about social media and things like that, but it quickly gets dark throughout. It's just like a slow creeping buildup of absurdity and hilariousness. Ruben Östlund is the director and writer. I've only seen one film of his, Force Majeure. He's done 4 features. I haven't seen The Square or Bully. Or Play. It's called Play. Play is about bullies. And he's got some documentaries and some music videos. So out of the 4, I've only seen half of his films, but he has a very unique, awkward sort of argument style of hilarity. It's almost like the equivalent of like 2 guys eating pizza and then they start fighting over the last slice and start, discussing who should get the last slice, or whatever. It's a really unique sort of banter between people. It's very dry humor that I really liked. The movie is actually really balanced because it takes a lot of footwork, a lot of laying down pipe to set up stuff that you're not really noticing. There's all sorts of different characters. There's like this woman who's like the chief stewardess, so she's like, in charge of like keeping the people in line. Then there's like cooks, then there's like engineer people, then there's like the crew members, and there's all the rich people on the cruise, and then there's like the captain, and the middle segment's mostly an introduction of all these different rich element people, and they're like quirky, and they basically set a course for disaster on this ship, and this becomes the cruise ride of hell. And that's all I'm going to say. But the movie quickly gets dark. It goes into so many wild ways. The only weakness of the film, I would say, is probably it has a very abrupt open ending. And some people might not like that. I thought it was very artsy fartsy. You could infer a lot of stuff that's going to happen, but it's more about what the possibilities of what could happen. So it's really trying to be deep. I really love the performances. Obviously I'm really sad about the passing of the main actress. But she does a great job in this movie. So does Harris Dickinson, Woody Harrelson. A lot of lesser known players are in this movie, but I really like the last third of the film. Really sets up it really turns up everything to 11, basically. The movie's pretty funny. It starts off as like a satire of like models and social media and the upper class, but then it just quickly gets darker and more absurd and more freaky and like just bonkers, basically. This movie is just like a really great satire with so many themes and layers of the power dynamics of the rich versus the working class, and it really like takes a spotlight to that, to extremes, to like the most devastating extremes, and I can't get into it, but yeah, definitely go into this movie blind. Check it out. It's an English film. I mean, the director's Swedish and the movie's done in the English language, so it's more accessible to people since his last couple movies are not done completely in English. So Triangle of Sadness is definitely one of those star films. It's really well written. It took him probably a while to write this one, but it's definitely one of the more gonzo films that just goes for broke and totally succeeds. So I give Triangle of Sadness an 8.5 out of 10.